So WWE 2K24 has so many brand new features, it's almost going to make the game unrecognizable. And if you would like to get a free copy of the game, then you can be in with a chance in our subscriber giveaway. All you have to do is click the subscribe button. We've had 2,000 new subscribers in the last 5 days. Help us on our road to 10,000 subs. But today we are going to be looking at 2K24 features that we need. Ones that could still be released, could still be unveiled to us, and sit alongside the new features such as special guest referee matches, as well as the gauntlet match, as well as all of these vast brand new features that are coming with the new game. And the first one we are going to talk about today is blood. Yes, talking about superstars bleeding. It's quite sadistic, really, and maybe not for the faint-hearted, but the WWE 2K games has always featured blood, and nowadays you do have to go into the options menu to unlock it, perhaps WWE's way of staying PG until the moment you go into settings and change it up. But the blood that we have seen on the live shows, on the television, isn't anywhere near as minor as it is in the games. We get very little blood in the game. It doesn't splatter all over the mat. It pretty much is always in the same place, above an eyebrow, in the center of the forehead, and maybe a little bit coming out of the nose. But certainly within the Attitude Era, of which the showcase is certainly going to feature upon, we used to see the likes of Triple H, Ric Flair, Randy Orton, so many superstars. Yes, I know they would blade, but they would have blood pouring down their face and onto their chest. Their hands would be bloodied. A improvement in blood within the games, I think, isn't a major need or a major feature that is wanted, but I think it makes for more realism, and it certainly adds for more chaos within the matches that we partake in. It also just adds to a kind of sadistic wrestling bout, but it does happen, certainly in hardcore matches, and certainly in the odd occurrence, you know, Roman Reigns may bleed heavily from a headbutt from Kevin Owens. Blood is still out there on the live TV shows, and I think they really need to revamp it into these games to make more of it. And I know you guys are probably thinking, Wrestle, you are certainly one sadistic. I won't repeat the next word, but blood is certainly something that does need to be improved upon in the game. Now we're going to move over and we're going to talk about the commentary. And I had a really good comment from Ray. That's all his name was in the comment section of the last video. So big shout out to you, Ray. If you're watching, make sure you put down in the comments section, it was me, Ray. But he was talking about the commentary teams. Now, commentary is one of the biggest facets of the game. It is what we hear throughout all of the matches that we partake in. You know, leading up to matches, in the entrances, the superstar entrances, at the end of the matches. It really needs to be reinvigorated with a lot more content, more variety, and potentially having the commentary teams that are not the ones that we have, because they have changed literally in the last few days. On Raw, we now get Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, with Samantha Irvin as the ring announcer, and on SmackDown, we're going to get Corey Graves and Wade Barrett, with Mike Rome being the ring announcer. But going back to, obviously, when they were producing WWE 2K24, they should separate the Raw and SmackDown commentary teams just so we get more brand identity, so to speak, and a lot more variety, certainly through Universe Mode when you transition from your SmackDown and your Raw pay-per-views for your episodic shows. It'd be nice to have a change up in commentary and just hear various different commentary teams, and it'd just be a nice mix-up from the, you know, what we have had. But also, we need more exhilarance, and this is what Ray went on to say. He said, when there's big moments, oh my god moments, kick-outs at the very last second, we want to feel more passion from the commentators. We want to really feel like we are in that moment, because in real life and true to life, the commentators really make for an exciting match. Michael Cole does it extremely well. Having them really shout out when there's been a last-minute kick-out just before a 3 count, or when a superstar intervenes in a match. Having all of that excitement really cements a gaming experience and a true-to-life WWE experience. So for me, commentary really does need to be updated. I've got my fingers crossed that is certainly something that the 2K devs are thinking about when it comes to WWE 2K24. The next one, and a very, very quick one from me, because I don't think it's going to be in the game, unless it's hidden under the rivalry actions, but it's promos. I want to see Becky Lynch facing off against Jade Cargill, or Charlotte Flair facing up against Bianca Belair, Roman Reigns going one-to-one over a microphone in the ring with Jey Uso. I want to see all of that because, again, it adds more excitement, it adds more realism. It used to have a slot in universe mode, but they removed it for some god-awful decision and for god-awful reason. So to have that back in would certainly add a lot of depth to universe mode and to our WWE 2K24 experiences. The next one goes alongside face paint, and after a prolonged period in a match, it would be nice to see face paint faded. I'm going to use an example here of Asuka. Asuka's got incredible face paint, but imagine having her face almost fading away, not her face, but her face paint fading away, and actually seeing her real face underneath. Perhaps, again, it could be marked on the canvas. There could be face paint marks, or on her hands, or on her attire, on her neck. Having the face paint fade, again, really shows that a superstar has been through a big, big battle. And it's something I think isn't too absurd to ask for, really, when it comes to realism within the game. Because I'm telling you now, if Asuka was in a 20-minute wrestling match, she is not going to have a pristine face paint as she did when she walked into the arena. Now, moving on to fatigue, and fatigue was touched upon in the last game. We really felt like our superstars had gone through a monumental tussle, but I want to see that exaggerated. I want to see Braun Strowman going up against Randy Orton and targeting his right leg. I want to see Randy Orton almost buckling under the weight of his body on that leg. Again, give him time, perhaps make it into a little mini game, a feature that you tap X and he recuperates his fatigue, but throughout the match you'll always see him struggling with his right leg until maybe an oh my god moment, or a time in the match where he is really on a roll, and the game would kind of just distinguish that itself. It knows that Randy Orton is now on a roll and that potentially his adrenaline is carrying him through his injury. Do you think that would be too difficult to implement into the game? I don't know. You let me know down in the comments below. And remember, if you do want a copy of the game, to be in with a chance of getting a free copy, all you have to do is become a subscriber and you will be in with a chance. We've had almost 2,000 of you subscribe over the last few days, and this is a genuine giveaway. I saw someone in the comments section earlier saying, oh yeah, like you'll give a free copy of the game away. Well, yeah, I will, because we're WrestleMania and we do that here. Moving on to the next feature that would certainly make the game almost go into God mode, that would be having free roam and expanding the backstage area. I'm all for a backstage match and having multiple superstars in that, which is something we are certainly getting in this year's edition of the game. But I want to go back to an era where I can control Rey Mysterio and walk around backstage. I can interact with various different superstars. That could end up resulting in a melee backstage. It could result in me forming a tag team, maybe disbanding a tag team, going into the general manager's office and talking to Paul Heyman, potentially, who wants me to join the Bloodline. Ooh. Or potentially going and speaking to Nick Aldis or Adam Pearce, and, you know, perhaps if I speak to them favorably and pay him a compliment, I get the 30th spot in the Royal Rumble. Or maybe if I piss him off and tick him off and keep talking about wrestlers bleeding, he'll say to me, no, you're going to get the #1 slot, or you're going to face Roman Reigns, or you're going to go into a gauntlet match because you're just ticking me off. All things like that would need to be scripted and implemented into all of these backstage segments, this free roam segment. But I think it's doable, and I think it certainly increases the realism of this game. But that's it from me, folks. Remember to subscribe, drop a like, and of course, have a fantastic day. See you soon.